When Greg and I sat down, we would just go, okay, well, what's the best way to tell the story? Funnily enough, the ads do seem to work in 60s and 30s too, just because we got that nice voice running through them. But the longer format is nicer, and I suppose it does work with the brand belief of take your time. So it's just kind of a happy marriage. But no, we didn't set out to do them like that. I think with Boxer, we had only just launched our digital platform, so we almost launched our Facebook platform with Boxer. There was kind of no Amstel presence, well, local Amstel presence on the net before that. So we were trying to just build up to critical mass. When we launched the Chef, we already had 100,000 fans. So we already had a much better digital base to talk to. But then also, I think we've got a certain approach in this agency where our digital department sits in our creative department, and they're not a separate profit and loss bunch. So every learning we get is filtered into the creatives and becomes so the guys that come up with the ideas also come up with how do we leverage those ideas, and I think we've leveraged it better, to be honest. So no, I don't think it's just because it's a better story. I think people are split. I know people who like Boxer more than Chef and Chef more than Boxer. And I think Chef is probably an easier story for most people to identify with, but we've also seeded it better, and our digital strategy has been better on it. And most of those views are in South Africa, which is amazing. So I think that long format ad now has 200,000 views, and about 190 of them are in South Africa, which is amazing. I mean, Greg's one of those few people and those few creatives in the world that has very clear and clean thinking, and then knows how to communicate that to other people. So when Greg comes up with an idea for an ad, it's usually a fully formed idea, which for a creative director is fantastic, because most of the time you're dealing with babies in a studio and you're trying to help them form those ideas. So I mean, I love working with Greg, and I love Greg's team. I think Paul is phenomenal, and I think Velocity are a really strong production house. So yes, we're very collaborative. I mean, even funnily enough, I was chatting to him now, we were shooting another job for Business Day, and I was even chatting to him about actually conceptualizing the third in the series with them. Because I think he has so much to offer when it comes to storytelling. I really love him. He's an amazing client. He trusts us and he listens to us. And when he does criticize, it really adds value. You know, he's a client you can trust because you can believe in him. He's a very clean thinker. And then, to be honest, the client above him, Gavin Krensky, who's the marketing director of Brand House, he's probably one of the best marketers I've worked with. So, it's hard for an agency to admit, but often on our first edits, you get so close to the work, it's difficult to sometimes keep the work clean and that golden thread running through the work. And I've had Gavin on both ads come in and go, guys, you've lost it on this. This is where you need to go. And when we all step back, Greg and myself and everyone, and look at it, he always makes such solid calls, and the work gets so much better. The storytelling gets so much better when he leaves the room and we go, okay, with those principles in mind, let's try again. And that's so rare. I mean, most of the time you've got clients that are just pecking you to death. They've got bad ideas. The ideas add no value. But with Brand House, we're really lucky, and with Gavin and Deirdre, and actually the young lady that ran this project, Lizzie, who sits just under Deirdre, we've got a phenomenal team of people, and we've got an amazing trust in that team, which really, really helps.